Okay, final video for the day. I was thinking of my sports, and there's sports, and then there's extreme sports. So this is my extreme sports I have done. Some of them are less intense than others, so I think that's kind of dependent on the person. So one of the less extreme ones is paintball, which I did when I lived in South Africa. Also, when I lived in South Africa, I did ATV-ing, which stands for all terrain vehicle. And they're very heavy. And yeah. So those are two I did in South Africa. Most of them I did in South Africa. Also in South Africa, I did jet skiing, which normally is not an extreme sport, except for in South Africa, where they have great white sharks in the water. So if you fall off, you might get eaten by a shark. So it's some of the largest great white shark populations in the world where I went. Another one, great white shark cage diving. So I'm in a cage and the shark comes up to the cage. They did not bite through the cage when I was in it, so that was very kind of them. Two more. So the last two from Africa were, first, this is in the order I did them, just these two. The one thing I said I would not do in my life, and then I did it to prove myself wrong, and that I can do anything, was bungee jumping from the tallest bungee bridge in the world. So, you know, if you're gonna do something once, do it from the biggest. Do it best first. And after bungee jumping, I did skydiving. Skydiving is a bigger fall, like a longer fall than bungee jumping, but air resistance kicks in, whereas it doesn't with bungee jumping, so this one actually is the more intense feeling. And so I did this one in Blue Crans, South Africa, and I did this one, so bungee jumping in Blue Crans, and skydiving in Cape Town, South Africa, when I was living in South Africa for half a year, attending Nelson Mandela Metropolitan University through a student exchange program. The person I switched places with came and attended the University of Washington in the United States of America in my place. I offered that up, and they offered their spot up. And then the last two are kind of more, depending on where you go and your comfort level, they might be more, like for me, they're more mild. So snorkeling. I don't know if there's one or two L's. Let's put that right. And go-karting. And if you debate this, should be go-karting, I guess. My sister blacked out when we were racing as a family, when we were go-karting. So be careful of getting whiplash and driving off the track and hitting barriers and stuff like that. So potential for a lot of damage. So I kind of identify that with extreme sports. So those are a few of my extreme sports that I have done.